system development criteria be better for us.
Yes, it'd be significantly better for them.
Any other questions from the court?
I just might mention that Jack touched on it, but to the chagrin of all of us, there's only a handful of vendors out there that offer the full package of courts and law enforcement. And those that offer it, we're not too keen on it. So, I mean, it's a shame we don't have one out there that'll service all, but right now we don't. And
Let's bind up everybody that comes up with something.
I think the big advantage of your system for one test, it allows the sheriffs to talk to adjacent counties throughout the state. Is that correct? Whereas the software that he has today allows him to converse with the rest of the county organizations, but not outside the county. Is that right, Carol?
that's correct.
One of the key features of our system is that when typically a person gets pulled over by Rockwall PD, Rockwall PD doesn't have an interface to Rockwall County, so there may be in the county system warrants for Class C misdemeanors or tickets, unpaid citations that Rockwall PD doesn't have access to see because their system is not connected to the sheriff's system. And typically, Class C misdemeanors don't get reported to the state through the JP offices. And so when you run it through the state, you don't get a result back, and you let the person go, even though they might have had parking tickets that were unpaid. Well, with our system, you can search the local data, the CAT can search the local data from everybody that's participating in this program. So they will be able to look at the Class C records and local records as well as any of the other vendors. And the way the program was written, we're supposed to interface with the other two vendors as well, so that when it's all done, when the test is finished, we'll be able to go through a statewide search of local data.
Do I hear a motion? More discussion?
If I'm understanding this correctly, we've been told more than once, there's a day coming, perhaps 3 years, where what is now being used is going to be non-functional. And so we have the opportunity, based on the work the sheriff's done, is to be working on that today. Even though we don't have the perfect solution yet, it seems like if we take advantage of this situation, we will maybe have the time to try to find all the answers we're going to have now. But there is a date out there where we're going to be spending a lot of money for a system, and if we have to invest a few $1,000s unknown to us now, it's probably well worth it. So the sheriff is asking for us just, if I understand the sheriff, that we didn't have time to workshop this item because of a date where a response is needed.
Well, we have to make a commitment to spend the money on this grant by September the 30th, and we're not that far away. We talked about the possibility of doing it either today or the 28th, which would allow us time to do a workshop, but I felt like after John reviewed the document and he didn't find any issues or problems with it, we probably should go ahead and get this done so we don't run out of time.
John, do you have any comment?
Yeah, what's before you is simply the memorandum of agreement with the Texas Department of Public Safety, wherein you're accepting basically the terms of the grant, setting forth the obligations, with some termination clauses. At this point in time, we're not approving any contracts with any software companies. It's just basically to be involved in that grant program. And with that, I have reviewed the documents as the sheriff has said, and approved those to leave them as the legal form.
The only other thing is that DPS has asked all participants to notify them by the 17th whether they decide to participate or not participate. agency that says they're not going to participate at this time, they'll allocate their funding.
Their funds.
Make a motion, we continue with our involvement in this and notify the GPS.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, say no. Passes 4-0.
Thank you very much.
I will comment that in the budget, please go ahead, Larry. In the budget for next year, there is a sum of money set aside for an outside audit of this issue. Because interfaces of software systems are difficult, and I think we don't want to make a mistake the next time. I mean, we all have heard the name Tyler Technologies, and it causes much disdain, so we don't want to do that again. And so I think it's worth our time to get some real experts to look at this
Just,
system.
I like one of the comments. I know Jerry was on board, was probably the only one that was on board, and we probably, in retrospect, we probably didn't do, the county didn't do enough due diligence on Tyler Technology. But this project has had some of the best IT people that we have, could have access to, look at it, and we discussed it, and reviewed it for 2.5 years, and I'm satisfied that if we're able to accomplish this, and I truly hope we are, that we will be much, much better off than what we currently are.
But the issue is not this system for you. The issue is the county-wide systems that talk to each other. And right now, I don't think we have enough expertise in the county to make the decisions as to what we should do without some outside systems.
No, I don't disagree with that. And if we get two systems that are open architecture from a design standpoint, I don't think there's going to be any problems to have that interface.
I too am a system engineer. I've master's degree, and I'm going to tell you, I've never met an analyst yet who couldn't say, how do we do that? So you have to do it. Well, that's why we need some help.
And
Flip the switch.
Flip the switch, right?
Those costs are presented in your first draft of the budget, for that.
Yes. Yes.
Under what? Is it under?
Professional services. Professional services, the amount of money set aside for an outside systems analysis all right. Yes.
I think we said it's like 25 when we
Right.
did our first draft.
If I get run over by a truck before we have detailed conversations, I do recall that we tried to save money on Tyler Technology, and we were going to do the conversion in-house. Big mistake.
Okay, thank you very much. Sheriff, good luck. You will keep us informed how you're going.
I will.
You'll get Chief Golden to help you and Warden Jessup.
Do what?
Get a trio of buddies over here. The next item on the agenda is discuss act and custodial service bid submissions for all county facilities and all related issues. This background, the county went out with an RFP for outside cleaning of the county facilities. There were 3 companies that bid. There were some questions asked by the court in the workshop. One of the primary question was, will the elected officials allow a non-county employee to clean their facilities? I've gone out to all of the department heads and elected officials, and the only one that had any opposition to it, I think we have a solution to that. We're just going to lock the machines up that were items in question in the elections office. So I make a motion that we accept the lowest bid for the centralized cleaning of county facilities, and we direct the auditor to go into contract negotiations with the lowest bidding firm to get a contract that would be effective September 30th, 2011. October 1st, anyway.
And that would be for Red Leaf USA Limited.
Whoever the lowest bidder is.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passes 3-1. Next item on the agenda Discuss act on awarding the contracts for the HVAC project for the Rockwall County Services Building and all related issues. Ms. Constance?
Yes, for your packet includes 3 bids from 3 different companies that we received when we went out for RFP on this. There's a letter attached from Mr. Mike Gilbert, your consultant on this project, and he has recommended that you accept a proposal from Tony Air and vote on that one, and that is the lowest bid. Yes, it was the lowest bid.
Is it the best bid?
For Mr. Gilbert it is. It was the lowest and the best.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept the bid from Tony Air to award the contract for the project, Rockwall County Services Building.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say yes. Yes. All opposed? Passes 4-0. Next item on the agenda is discuss act on sending all bids received and authorize the county auditor to rebid the electrical project for the Rockwall County Services Building and all related issues. Ms. Constance?
Yes, Judge, we received 2 bids on this particular project, the county services building. One, they were rather skewed, which led me to believe that there was, something that one didn't understand correctly or was given. I'm not really sure what happened, but I contacted Mr. Gilbert, who looked over these. He contacted both of them. Apparently, one received some info, or was led to believe that we were doing another part of this project later, so he did not bid it. My recommendation would be that we can't accept either of these bids, that we should refuse the bids that we received and rebid the project. And I did see that John Thatcher, and he concurred with me. I'll make that motion to authorize the auditor to rebid the electric project for the county services. And to refuse and to issue. And to rescind the bids received. Thank you.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor say yes. Yes. All opposed? Passes 4-0. Item on the agenda is discuss act on approving the letter of official notice to continue the terms of the lease agreement with Sorokin's house on a month-to-month basis at the same monthly lease payment of $1,800 for a 30-day written notice of termination is given all of that issues. This is because of the move of the county facilities due to the move to the courthouse, and there has ensure that we can get everybody moved in the right time frame. We want to do these leases on a month-to-month basis. And this is the first lease.
Move to approve the letter of official notice to continue the terms of lease agreement with Mr. Rockman's house on a month-to-month basis at the same monthly rate of $1,800 until the 30-day written notice of termination is given.
Second.
Motion is second, any discussion? All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yes. All opposed? Passes 4-0. As a note, the target date is no later than the end of this year.
And we will come back to the court to request you to let us send out the 30-day notice letter.
The next item is the same thing for the Benbrook Ridge Partners LP, which is a lease facility that we have in the virtual shopping center for the EPS license facility. Discuss act on approving a letter of official notice 30 days for the month-to-month basis of the lease. Is there a motion?
Move to approve the letter of official notice to continue the terms of the lease agreement with the Benbrook Ridge Partners at the monthly basis of the same monthly amount of $2,165.67
to be limited on a month-to-month basis, the same monthly amount of $3,000 until a 30-day written notice of termination is given and all related issues. This is for the election office. And if you remember, during the discussion of the leases, that land holder said that he would only do this if we extended it for 3 months out to the end of December. So I know the intent of this, but I think we're probably going to have to sign another 3-month lease with him, because that was part of the agreement that he would allow us to stay in that building.
I didn't know we had a 30-day.
I don't think we should do it on.
To note that the contract that we currently have with McCollum B Limited does allow for provision for month-to-month lease. So, any discussion?
But he also said that if somebody else wants to come in and rent it, unless we have an agreement with him until the end of December, he'll rent it.
If it's included in the motion that we go to a month-to-month and with the intention through December 31st, wouldn't that cover if it's an official court action?
We can change the letter from the county auditor's office based on your motion to instead of going to a month-to-month basis, to just extend it to a 3-month.
I think we should.
Period as well.
So that was the agreement that I think we all reached.
So 90 days should cover it.
That's fine, we can fix that before it goes out. As long as you authorize to do so, we'll do it.
Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion to approve a letter of official notice to continue the terms of the lease agreement with McCollum Limited on a 90-day basis in the amount of $3,000 per 30 days, so that would be a total of $90,000. I'm sorry, 9,000. Gosh. And a 30-day written notice of termination.
You want it to go 90 days, what's the 30-day termination?
We would have to still give them a 30-day termination, I guess, 60 days into the contract.
So-
He could exercise that in sense.
Okay, so the intent of the letter should say that we want to have 90 days
Yes.
more, and then we're moving
Out.
on.
That's it.
Okay, we're right.
And then my motion.
That clear?
Effective
I
August 1st.
started to run.
The motion, is there a second? Okay, would you restate that?
I make a motion to continue the terms of the lease agreement with McCollum Limited on a 90-day basis for an amount of $9,000. And at the end of that 90 days, it will be terminated.
Is that okay, Lisa?
Well, yeah, Lisa and myself will amend that letter to match with the motion as stated. We'll get that sent out.
Is there a second?
But
There's a motion, second, any discussion? All in favor, say yes. Yes. All opposed, passes 4-0. Item on the agenda is discuss act on approving the renewal agreement with Roy City for dispatch services provided by the Rockwall County Sheriff's Office. An fee of $33,000 and all related issues.
Judges, this is just a renewal, and the amount is actually increased, which is money that Rockwall County receives.
Motion for approval?
Any discussion? All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Next item on the agenda is discuss act on advertising the public notice for bids for operating administrative services for Rockwall County Library and all related issues. This is being pulled from the agenda, as discussed with a lot of the citizens of our county. There was a proposal which was made by me to look at going to outsourcing the library. It was based upon service and economics. There was a lot of citizens' opposition to that proposal. There was a very healthy discussion which was held last night in this room. The only thing wrong with the discussion was the air conditioning couldn't keep up with 193 people. It really got hot. However, the discussion in some cases was emotional, others were logical. It was a good public opportunity for the citizens to express what they wanted. Marcine and I had talked about it earlier, and after the discussion last night, the decision was made by me to pull the item off the agenda, and Marcine and I will work along with the court in reducing the budget of the library. The target that we're now looking for, in which Marcine and I have tentatively agreed, is $250,000, which is not the same type savings, same amount of savings that we would have gotten with a outsourced proposal. However, it was clear last night that the people of Rockwall want to stay involved with the library. There's a lot of very strong emotion about the library. There's a lot of allegiance to the library. There's a lot of very good programs over there in the library that people are very closely linked with. There was never any question about the quality of service of the library. It was all about economics. And if we can work together to get that $250,000 out in our adjusted budget, I think it's going to be a win-win for everybody. I was very glad to hear Kathleen say this morning that the Friends will continue to support the library as they've done in the past. Friends do an awful lot of volunteer work, and they do an awful lot of actual contributions to the library that allows the circulation to expand. And when you look at the budget of the library, one of the deficiencies is that we have not spent enough money in the budget on books. That's where the Friends step in and they supplement that amount of money, and it brings it up to right about the right level. Several people that I've talked with, some in the county, some outside the county, said that for a library of that size, we should be spending about $125,000 to $130,000 a year. We have budgeted over the last several years $75,000 because of economics, and that money has been essentially made up by Friends. So it's much appreciated what the Friends have done in the library, and it's much appreciated the way this debate of public policy was handled. It was very transparent. I will say that all of us on the court, we clearly got the message. There were lots of emails written, some of them nice, others not so nice. But the public policy issue was the real issue. And the public policy issue centered around service and economics and service. Because you all know that right now today, our county, state, and country, we're all faced with the same problem, and that is an economic problem. Our nation is in tremendous debt. The economic outlook for our nation is not good. I mean, our unemployment continues to go up. Our housing market is down. All of you who've gotten your appraisal notices, many of you have seen that the appraisal of your home has gone down. That drives revenue for the county, so it's a difficult time. The issue that we're going to talk about in just a minute is going to be fire protection. Fire protection is another thing that's absolutely needed. It's not a question about need, it's again a question about economics. And what can people afford, what can the government afford, and that's what we'll be discussing. So I'd like to compliment Friends, the library board, and particularly the library director, who was under an awful lot of pressure to come up with a solution, and she did that admirably, and she should be congratulated. And I personally thank her, and I thank Friends, the way that it was handled. I think everybody won on this people. I think everybody now has a better appreciation of the library and the finances that we're facing as a government organization. So thank all of you.
May I ask one legal question? Can we just pull the item, or does the court need to vote?
It can be pulled by, since the judge is one of the sponsors, he can pull that.
Okay, great. Just want to make sure it's clean full.
Next item on the agenda is discuss action approving an agreement with SHP Vista Health Management to provide medical services to inmates at Rockwall County Jail and all related issues. This is an item that was workshopped. Harold cut out on us. He left you, Bob?
We're working on technology stuff.
You're going to talk about the health care. Does anybody have any questions about what's being proposed? Because we didn't talk about this at the work session. For those of you in the audience, in essence, what we have now is we have 3 nurses in the jail that provide about 8-hour service. They will be replaced by an organization that will provide 24/7 service. They indemnify the county, the jail. It's a better deal in terms of what we're doing by outsourcing the health care of the jail. It was proposed by the sheriff's department, and it was directed by the head of the jail, Bob Besson.
Are you open for a motion? Are you open for a motion?
Sure, I am.
And I move to approve an agreement with SHP Vista Health Management to provide medical services to inmates in Rockwall County.
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor say yes. Yes. All opposed, passes 4-0. Next item on the agenda, discuss act and approve an interlocal agreement with the city of Rockwall regarding municipal judge services for July 10th weekend at a maximum cost of $2,500 and all related issues. Kimber?
Y'all are very familiar, I hope, at this point, with the very successful program that the District Attorney's Office and law enforcement throughout Rockwall County has been conducting over the last couple of years. As you remember, and what we're talking about is the blood draw, the no refusal blood draw weekends. As you know, this is a program whereby warrants will be sought to draw blood from individuals who are suspected of driving while intoxicated and have refused to provide a breath or blood sample. In the last 2 years, we have conducted this program on Labor Day weekend. This year, the police chiefs and I got together, and they asked for the program to be expanded to not only Labor Day weekend, but also the July 4th weekend. Obviously, this is a public safety concern during these very busy holiday weekends. We think it's a great idea, and we hope that you will support the program as you have in the past. We're again going to coordinate efforts on a number of fronts. The District Attorney's Office will be providing and buying the blood draw kits from DPS and distributing them to local law enforcement agencies. We expect that Lake Point and Presbyterian hospitals will continue to provide trained phlebotomists to draw the blood in a sanitary and safe manner. We are talking to a number of countywide judges who will be on 24-hour rotation to review the blood draw warrants. Remember that the law requires that these magistrates must be lawyers in order to review the warrants. And 2 prosecutors from the District Attorney's Office will be on 24-hour call to answer any questions from law enforcement during the weekend. As in the past, we are asking the Commissioners Court to reimburse the cities for the municipal judges' overtime costs. My prosecutors and Judge Brian Williams have agreed to work without overtime compensation to make the program a success. Someone asked me why the District Attorney's Office can't fund these costs. Obviously, on a conflict of interest situation, we can't pay a judge to review our own debt, so it has to come from a government, the Commissioner's Court. You have in the past before you a copy, you have before you a copy of the proposed interlocal agreement with the City of Rockwall. Judge Kathy Penn has already agreed to be part of this rotation process. We will get the other interlocals to you in the next 2 weeks. I've already spoken to Roy City and the City of McClendon Chisholm. We're going to be talking to their municipal judges as well. We've set the weekend to begin at 12:01 a.m. Friday morning and end at 5 o'clock p.m. Tuesday evening, and have capped any reimbursement at $2,500. But I can tell you that in the last 2 years, and I talked to Lisa about this, we've never spent over $500. A very, very small investment for an amazingly successful program. If I can just be allowed to give you a couple of stats, 3 years ago, before I was elected on Labor Day weekend, there was a 100% refusal rate among the people that were stopped and arrested for DWI. That means that everyone that was stopped refused to give a sample, and as a result, we went to trial with absolutely no scientific evidence. 2 years ago, in 2009, because of the press that we received, I think in large part, that level dropped to 33%. And last year, it dropped again to 25%. So these are amazing stats, and it's an incredibly successful program. We get that scientific evidence that we need, and it's a very small investment. Any questions?
The $2,500 maximum, maybe where would that money come out of?
I believe we took it out of professional services when we paid it before, because we were paying it for an attorney. It's a judge/attorney that's reviewing or issuing these warrants when necessary, when it's not our own employees doing it, our own judges.
I'll make a motion for approval.
Motion second, any discussion? All in favor say yes. Yes. All opposed? Passes 4-0. Next item is discussion of revised first draft FY12 budget and all related issues, and it's announced that we will be discussing the amount of money contributed to the various fire departments, which several of us spoke about this morning. I think I heard that you all would like to meet with the county in a workshop setting to discuss that. Did I pick up on that correctly?
Either that or reinstate the amount that's consistent with last year's budget. I think they'd be satisfied with that.
I said both.
They didn't say both.
Any other discussion on that? The consensus of the court is that we'd like the fire departments to come in a workshop session. Is there any particular time that they have to do it for the fire departments? Bill?
Yes, I'd like to point out that what the city is saying on this, the fire department is simply one of the departments within the budget process. I really feel as though the individual cities, because anything that the fire departments do when they submit a budget, it gets scrubbed severely by the city manager, and then it goes before the city council for a multiple scrub. And no disrespect to the fire department, but they're not aware of, they might be a very positive, or painting a very positive picture, and other departments within the city are painting a very negative picture, which will impact the fire department and as far as what the city council can actually move forward with and approve. So I would recommend strongly that the emphasis not be on the department heads, but on the individual cities to participate in the fire department. Thank you.
Okay, last year there was $303,000 that was allocated to the fire departments. The majority of that, the biggest percentage of that went to Rockwall. About $96,000 went to Rockwall, and for each one of the other cities, it was about $48,000. The proposal this year, the revised proposal, that Joe went through and found some more money, it moved Rockwall down to about $76,000, and it moved the other cities down to about $39,500 or something like that, based on a percentage basis of the amount of monies that were available. There's an old expression, you can't get blood out of a turnip. And we're getting to that point where the turnips are bad out of blood.
I think that's what will be discussed during the workshop.
You want to do it with the fire, or do you want to do it with the city managers or the mayors?
City managers.
Well, you got one situation where in Macklin and Chisholm, it's a volunteer. So,
All right, how about each city select whether it's going to be the city manager or the fire chief, and we'll put out
fire officials are simply asking to be, I guess, involved in the process. You talk about maybe the cost of equipment, the cost of maintaining, the cost of suppression and preparedness for those type of things. When you consider for those incorporated areas or non-incorporated areas of the county.
Okay, how about each city have one or two representatives come to the meeting? And we will send out a notice when the meeting will be next week. And each city can select whether they want to have just the city manager or just the fire chief or both. We'll discuss it then.
Chief, point next to
Yes?
Judge, Commissioners, thank you for giving me a moment to speak. You said next week. I had requested a week ago some information from County GIS person, Susan, to give us some information so we can actually look at what the shrinkage has been as the judge is related to. The information that was provided yesterday was incorrect. She's told me that it may take several weeks for her to extract that information. So I'm not sure that we will be 100% prepared to answer questions as early as next week based on the information we've requested from the county.
Okay, good. We will send you out, I'll check on that, thank you. And I'll send out a notice so that we'll have all the information available to do that. The court is going to recess now and go into an executive session to discuss some issues. You're welcome to stay if you like. When you come back, it will be just routine type things. So if you have more important things to do, thanks for coming. Let's go into,